Hello all, I am Dr. Vibhash Kumar Vaid. Today I will talk about the gross anatomy of cerebrum. You can see this is a specimen of the cerebrum, and cerebrum is the largest part of the brain and it occupies most of the anterior cranial fossa, middle cranial fossa and supratentorial part of the posterior cranial fossa. When you look the cerebrum, it is made of outer grey matter, inner white matter and a mass of neural tissue within the white matter. It is called basal ganglia. In the cerebrum, there is a free flow of the information in central nervous system. These information carried out in between by two cerebral hemisphere by the commissural fiber, between two lobes in association fiber, and upward to downward it carried out by projection fiber. Now we'll talk about the feature of the cerebrum. You can see here this cerebrum is enclosed by this meninges. When we remove this meninges, then you can see this cerebrum is basically made of two cerebral hemisphere, and another word, this cerebrum is incompletely divided by two cerebral hemisphere by this deep longitudinal fissure. Can you see this deep longitudinal fissure? This fissure is called deep longitudinal fissure and it is separated. And these two cerebral hemisphere which is connected by this large commissural fiber, this is called corpus callosum. On the base of this fissure here you can find a corpus callosum. Then when you see the surface of the cerebellum, the surface is uneven. You can see the here you can find a elevated portion and a depressed portion. This elevated part is called gyrus of the cerebrum, and in between two elevation, here you can see a depressed portion which separate two gyrus. This depressed portion is called sulcus. So this elevated part of cerebral surface is called gyrus and this depressed part of the cerebrum is called sulcus. You can see in this specimen also. This part is called, this folded elevated portion is called gyrus, and this depressed portion which is called sulcus. This sulcus separated to neighboring gyrus. Okay. Now we'll talk about each cerebral hemisphere. So I already told you cerebrum is cerebrum is separated into two cerebral hemisphere and it is incompletely connected by corpus callosum. Okay. When you see the each cerebral hemisphere, so cerebral hemisphere has a surface, border, lobes and pools. If you see the surface, you can see cerebrum has superolateral surface. This superolateral surface is convex, and medial surface is vertically flattened, and this medial surface which is related to the medial surface of neighboring cerebral hemisphere, and this superolateral surface which is related to the cranial vault, and it has inferior surface. Inferior surface further divided into anterior and posterior. This anterior portion is called orbital part and this posterior part is called tentorial part. So inferior surface divided into anterior orbital part and posterior tentorial part. Okay. Now we'll talk about the borders. It has superomedial border, inferolateral border and inferiomedial border. Superomedial border which separate medial surface to superolateral surface, and inferolateral border which separates superolateral surface to inferior surface, and this superolateral anterior portion of this superior lateral border, this portion is called superciliary border, and just 5 centimeter anterior to this on the superolateral border you can see here a indented portion or notch portion. This is called preoccipital notch. Then inferior medial border again divided into medial orbital border. You can see here this anterior portion is called medial orbital border, and this medial orbital border which separate medial surface from the orbital surface. This is called orbital surface. It separate medial border from orbital surface. Then you can see here another border called medial occipital border. This portion is called medial occipital border. This medial occipital border which separate medial surface from the tentorial surface. This is tentorial surface or this is orbital surface. Okay, so these are the surface and border. Along with this cerebral hemisphere in divided into 3 lobes. This anterior portion is called frontal lobe. This posterior portion, this is called occipital lobe, and in between this anterior portion and this posterior portion, this middle portion is called parietal lobe, and this inferior portion is called temporal lobe. Basically this lobe is separated by a deep sulcus. You can see here in between this anterior most prominent part to this posterior most prominent part, here a midline around 5 centimeter behind to this midline you can found a deep sulcus. This sulcus is called, you can found a deep sulcus. This sulcus is called central sulcus. This central sulcus anteriorly separated frontal lobe and posteriorly it is separated parietal lobe. Along with this you can see here a laterally going a deep sulcus. This lateral going deep sulcus is called lateral sulcus. Superiorly it is separated frontal and inferiorly it is separated temporal lobe. Okay. Now the most prominent part of this lobe is called pole. On the frontal lobe, this most prominent part is called frontal pole. Same manner on the occipital lobe, the most prominent part is called occipital lobe, occipital pole. On the temporal lobe, the most prominent part is called temporal pole. Now we'll talk about the sulcus and gyrus of the cerebrum. You can see here in between this anterior frontal pole and posterior occipital pole, the midpoint of this frontal and occipital pole, behind this midpoint you can found a deep sulcus. Here you can found here a deep sulcus. This sulcus is called central sulcus. This central sulcus which running on the superolateral surface from the superior medial border to the inferior lateral border. It's running obliquely forward and obliquely running forward. Okay, and anteriorly it separate frontal lobe and posteriorly it is separate parietal lobe. Okay, if we talk about the sulcus and gyrus of the frontal lobe, just anterior to this central sulcus, can you see this deep sulcus? Just anterior to this central sulcus you can found a fold. This fold is called precentral gyrus. Okay, pre means front, pre means आगे. Okay, तो क्या सेंट्रल सल्कस से जो आगे एक फोल्ड आपको दिख रहा है इसे हम बोलते हैं प्री सेंट्रल गायरस. एंड जस्ट anterior to this precentral gyrus you can found another sulcus. This sulcus is called precentral sulcus here. This sulcus is called precentral sulcus. Okay, so first you can see here central sulcus. Anterior to the central sulcus are four. This gyrus is called precentral gyrus, and just for anterior to this precentral gyrus you can find another sulcus. This sulcus is called precentral sulcus. When you see the anterior portion of this frontal lobe, you can find here two horizontally running sulcus are present. One is superiorly and one is inferiorly. Okay, one is superior. This superior sulcus is called superior frontal sulcus, and this inferior sulcus is called inferior frontal sulcus. Here, this one superior and this one is inferior. This superior and inferior frontal sulcus separated superior frontal gyrus, middle frontal gyrus and inferior frontal gyrus. Okay, you can see this one is superior frontal sulcus, this one inferior, which separate superior, middle and inferior frontal gyrus of the frontal lobe. Now, on the behind of the central sulcus, you can find another fold. This fold which present on the parietal lobe. Okay, so behind means post word, which is denoted by behind. Okay, to behind this central sulcus, this fold is called post central sulcus or post central gyrus. Okay, and just behind this post central gyrus you can see here another sulcus. This sulcus is called post central sulcus. So front of this central sulcus we have a precentral gyrus and sulcus, and behind of this central sulcus we have a post central gyrus and sulcus. And the posterior part of the parietal lobe, which separated by a intraparietal sulcus. Here you can see this horizontal running sulcus is called intraparietal sulcus. This intraparietal sulcus which divided posterior part of parietal lobe into superior parietal lobule and inferior parietal lobule. This portion is called superior parietal lobule and this portion is called inferior parietal lobule. Okay, now you can see here just inferior to this frontal lobe, here you can find a deep running sulcus. This deep running sulcus is called lateral sulcus or Sylvian sulcus. This lateral sulcus is also called a Sylvian sulcus. Inferiorly, this lateral sulcus separate temporal lobe. Okay, on the temporal lobe you can find here two horizontal running sulcuses. Just parallel to this lateral sulcus you can find here a superior temporal sulcus, and this one is called inferior temporal sulcus. This superior and inferior temporal sulcus divided temporal lobe into superior temporal gyrus, middle temporal gyrus and inferior temporal gyrus. When you see the lateral sulcus, the posterior end of the lateral sulcus, this is called stem of the lateral sulcus. When you see the posterior end of this lateral sulcus, here the inferior parietal lobule is inverted over this lateral sulcus, and this inferior parietal lobule divided into angular and supramarginal gyrus. This middle portion is called angular gyrus. This is called angular gyrus, and this portion is called supramarginal gyrus. Okay, so I told you again, the parietal lobes, posterior part of parietal lobe divided into two parts. Okay, by this interparietal sulcus, by superior parietal lobule and inferior parietal lobule. This inferior parietal lobule inverted over this stem of the lateral sulcus and divided into angular gyrus and supramarginal gyrus. Now we will talk about the occipital lobe, sulcus and gyrus of occipital lobe. You can see here, here you can see this sulcus is called parieto-occipital sulcus. Okay, parieto-occipital sulcus which posteriorly separate the occipital lobe and anteriorly parietal lobe. Okay, when you see the occipital lobe here, here you can found a lateral occipital sulcus. This portion, this lateral occipital sulcus divided into lobe into superior occipital and inferior occipital gyrus. Okay, this lateral occipital sulcus which separate this lobe into superior occipital gyrus and inferior occipital gyrus. Okay, and just behind this lateral occipital sulcus, here you can found a half moon shaped another sulcus. This sulcus is called lunate sulcus. Here this one is called lunate sulcus. This is called lateral occipital sulcus which divide superior occipital gyrus and inferior occipital gyrus. And on the occipital pole, here you can find another sulcus. This sulcus is called calcarine sulcus. Now we'll talk about the sulcus and gyrus of the medial sulcus. This is the sulcus of the gyrus of the superior-lateral sulcus by lobe, and we'll talk about the sulcus of the gyrus of the medial sulcus. When you see the medial sulcus is vertically flattened. Okay. On the central portion of this medial sulcus, you can find here fiber of the white matter. This is called corpus callosum. This corpus callosum connected to cerebral hemisphere. Okay, you can see here the anterior. This portion is called the rostrum of the corpus callosum. Here, this portion is called rostrum of the corpus callosum. This bend portion is called genu of the corpus callosum, and this portion is called body of the corpus callosum, and this massive large portion, posterior portion, is called splenium of the corpus callosum. So I repeat again, this portion of corpus callosum is called rostrum, this bend portion is called genu, this portion is called body, and this large massive portion is called splenium of the corpus callosum. If you see, this corpus callosum is semilunar in shape. Just and superior to this corpus callosum, you can find a deep sulcus here. This sulcus, which is found just superior to the corpus callosum, this sulcus is called callosal sulcus. Okay, this is called callosal sulcus, and just superior to this callosal sulcus, here you can find another fold of the grey matter. This fold is called cingulate gyrus. Here, this fold is called cingulate gyrus. This cingulate gyrus found in just superior to the callosal sulcus. Okay, and above this cingulate gyrus, over the genu part and body part, here you can find another sulcus which is running just above the genu part and body part of the corpus callosum. This sulcus is called cingulate sulcus. The posterior part of this splenial part of the corpus callosum, here just above this cingulate gyrus, this small part of the sulcus is called suprasplenial sulcus. So this is called cingulate sulcus, and this one is suprasplenial sulcus. Now you can see here on the superior medial border, here this is the central sulcus. This U-shaped portion which present nearer to this central sulcus, this U-shaped portion is called precentral lobule. Okay, this portion is called precentral lobule. Okay, and just anterior to the central sulcus here, or this just anterior to this precentral lobule, this portion is called medial frontal gyrus. Okay, so this portion is called medial frontal gyrus. Okay, now you can see here, this is called parieto-occipital sulcus, part of the corpus callosum this sulcus is called calcarine sulcus. Okay, this calcarine sulcus moved toward the occipital lobe and meted parieto-occipital sulcus, and it formed the post-calcarine sulcus. Here, this sulcus is called post-calcarine sulcus. Basically, this post-calcarine sulcus formed by the meeting of this calcarine sulcus and parieto-occipital sulcus. Then this post-calcarine sulcus and this occipito-parietal sulcus, which divided the medial surface of this occipital lobe into two gyruses, two portions. You can see this portion is called precuneus portion. Okay, this quadrangular part is called precuneus portion. This precuneus portion, which present in between this parieto-occipital sulcus and the precentral lobule, and just behind this parieto-occipital sulcus you can see here a triangular portion on the medial surface of the cerebral hemisphere. This portion is called cuneus portion. This cuneus portion present in between the parieto-occipital sulcus and post-calcarine sulcus. Okay, along with this, the just anterior to the rostrum, you can see here another sulcus. Just anterior to the rostrum, you can see here another sulcus. This sulcus is called olfactory sulcus. Olfactory sulcus divided into anterior and posterior olfactory gyruses. Okay. Along with this, just below this corpus callosum, you can see here a septum. This septum portion is called septum pallidum. Okay, this is called septum pallidum, which attached to the fornix. Now we'll talk about the sulcus and gyrus of the inferior surface of the cerebral hemisphere. Okay, when you see the inferior surface, you can see here this. You can see here. You can see here. This is a sulcus. This sulcus is called collateral sulcus. On the medial to this collateral sulcus, this gyrus is called parahippocampal gyrus. This parahippocampal gyrus, which start from the uncus, you can see here this portion is called uncus. Uncus continue as a parahippocampal gyrus, and the lateral portion of this collateral sulcus, this portion is called on the laterally of the collateral sulcus you can find another sulcus. This sulcus is called occipitotemporal sulcus. This one is called collateral sulcus. This one is called occipitotemporal sulcus. Okay. Basically, the part medial to the collateral sulcus is called parahippocampal gyrus. I already told you this is called parahippocampal, and the part which is lateral to the collateral sulcus is divided into medial and lateral occipitotemporal gyrus by this occipitotemporal sulcus. This one is called occipitotemporal sulcus. Now, this is all about the sulcus and gyrus of the cerebral hemisphere. Hope you all understood the topic. Thank you so much.